Two, one, we're on. I always wanted to do that. Surprise, surprise. Hey, you guys. Here we are. We're here. And we have been busting through some books. I want to say that, okay? We have been busting through some books. We're here for our last chapter and epilogue of Road to Nowhere. So as always, it's you guys. We got Oreo Jr. in his Grim Reaper costume. We got Scott, we got me, and we got, I think we're down to Poppycorn, we got Teresa, Freedom Jack, who is just out here robbing, um, and Christopher Pike, of course. So let's get into the last chapter of our journey. This makes me so sad. Get back there, Oreo Jr. I don't want them to see you cry. Okay, Scott, you ready?
I'm ready.
Okay. They drove into a residential area. The rain continued to fall, but lightly now, as if the glow or growing daylight was capable of drying up the clouds that had plagued them all night. They parted into an apartment complex and parked in a carport. Free jumped out, and Poppy and Teresa got out slowly. Actually, Poppy had to help Teresa up. She was so sick she had trouble staying on her feet. "Where are we?" she mumbled. "Same old Teresa," Free said, striding into the complex. Poppy helped her as they followed him. "I'm going to have to lay down soon," Teresa said. "Yes," Poppy said, her voice gloomy as midnight. Free led them into an apartment. He had the key. Period. Teresa collapsed on the couch near the door and closed her eyes for an instant. To say that she was in shock would have been like saying victims of serious burns were familiar with pain. Her pain, devastating as it was, could now hardly cut through the fog she had entered. They had unalived two people. Girl, I had forgot about that girl. Look. That lady said it was going to be some cheap. Blood was all over her clothes. Plus, she was bleeding. She had accidentally cut her left wrist with her knife. Like she had accidentally cut the nurse's throat. How do you accident, girl? These are not accidents, Teresa. But I guess we'll figure this out soon. Oh, God. Free had just aimed the GUN at them and pulled the trigger. All for a few lousy bucks. The sin of it all. Having slept with him. Girl, this is a disaster. I have never had this happen to me. So I don't, girl. Having slept with him, she must now have disease growing inside of her. Teresa opened her eyes and looked around. The apartment looked familiar. Very. "Where are we?" she mumbled again. Neither of them answered her right away. Free was in his glory, skipping around the living room as if he had just found a pot of gold at the end of the rainbow. He was in his empty green, he had his empty green garment bag in hand and was unfolding it on the floor. Poppy was smoking at a table in the adjacent kitchen. Teresa could hear hot water running. She turned her head with great effort and saw that the door to the bathroom was lying partway open and that someone had left the water running in the bathtub and that it was overflowing.
How'd you know it was hot water?
Scott. She could feel the sting.
Okay.
"Somebody should turn that water off," she said weakly. "Why don't you do it?" Free said. "I'm too sick to get up," Teresa said. "Always an excuse with you," Free mumbled. She was offended. "You unalive those people, you animal. Girl, you slept with them. Okay? You don't get to judge him after you didn't have some sheep rolling in the hay with him." Free laughed. He was smoothing the wrinkles out of his empty bag. What had he done with his other clothing? Just throwing them away, girl. I guess he could just rob another mini mart and get some more clothes. It was fun, he said. Did you have fun? You were alive one of them too, remember? It was an accident, Teresa protests. Free giggled. What a memory. Teresa cried weakly. Would somebody please turn off that water? The noise of it is hurting my head, girl. Water running. Ain't that supposed to be relaxing?
Huh?
Okay. Sorry, sis. Free paused in his task and approached. You are the only one who can cut the water off, babe. Poppy and I ain't got no hands. He stopped. Do you want to watch TV? Huh? No. I have a video you might enjoy. Free said, ignoring her. He pulled a tape out of his pocket and walked over to the VCR. If anybody out there is watching and you're like, I don't know, if you were born probably after what, 2000, you do not know what a VCR is. Be happy you don't. Them things took forever. But it's before we had DVDs. Even before we had that, we had VCRs. It was a lot. It's a lot to explain. Just Google it, y'all. Anyway, he thrust the tape into the machine and turned on the TV. You keep asking where we are, and I've already told you. But you can think of this tape as kind of a roadmap to the highways in these parts. I can't watch anything right now, Teresa whispered, her head falling to one side. She had to struggle to remain conscious. And she had to ask herself why she was trying at all. Because if she just blacked out, she could forget the pain. It was so tempting just to escape. Yet something kept her eyes open. Believe me, you'll want to watch this, Free said. The tape started. It showed a young woman closing her apartment door and striding towards her car in the night. The camera followed the young woman. She was really only a girl. As she threw an overnight bag in the back seat and climbed in, the girl started the car and looked both ways, pulling out into the rain. The rain. Lightning flashed, giving her a glimpse through the damp window. Recognition. The girl. That's me, Teresa gasped, sitting up. Yes, Free said. That's you leaving your house this evening. Where did you get this tape? She asked. I have friends in high places, Free said. I have more friends in low places. Do you want me to rewind the tape? No, she said quickly. I want you to turn it off. You shouldn't make tapes of people without their knowledge. Girl, he didn't say everything about you. You didn't sleep with him, child. Do it matter now? You want to get shot now? Free snickered. I have a tape of you in the most compromising of positions. He leaned closer, and she couldn't imagine how she thought his mouth tasted fresh. His breath reminded her of a sick patient in a hospital. It stunk of decay. I have a tape of you naked in the bathtub. What do you think of that, Miss Teresa? You lie, she swore. He hooted at the ceiling. I lie. He spun around, making a dance of it and skipping back to his bag. All right, I'll leave you in your ignorance. You seem comfortable there. He knelt on the floor by the bag and pulled down the zipper. An old army issue, he said gleefully. The bag intrigued her, but not in a good way. She had seen something like it before. Where did you get that thing? She asked. These bags were used in the 60s and 70s, Free said. Many of our finest young men returned home from Vietnam in one of these. A body bag, she whispered. He had been carrying it around all night, slowly emptying it. For what? Wrong question. For whom? We done got caught up. Scott. We done got caught up, y'all. Right, Free said with a giggle. They need to know, or the need to know, even in denial, was what was keeping her eyes open. Teresa got up with great effort and turned to the TV and VCR. She pressed rewind, counted time by the numbers, then pressed play. She was taking a bath, naked. I told you, Free snickered behind her. A hot bath, with the water running a little so that it wouldn't get cold when she started to get cold. Teresa glanced in the direction of the bathroom where the water was overflowing and soaking the carpet of the hallway. The water was not entirely clear. There was something in it, floating around, but also thinning out. Teresa glanced back at the tape. She was picking up a knife, that pretty young girl. So much pain on her face, but no extra pain as she took the blade to her right hand, or in her right hand, and cut a deep gash across her left wrist. Girl, you doing a lot. Pain, so she had believed at the time, was only for the living. There was no need to open both veins. Her parents were out. She had all night to unalive. The blood spurted silently into the water, and the girl leaned back and closed her eyes. The girl had been wrong about unaliving, taking away all the problems. Teresa turned off the tape. It all came clear to her in a single moment. The whole insane night, of course, there were no witches, no castles, no magical priests. These things did not exist on the planet Earth. I unalived myself, she said. Yes, Free cheered behind her, and I am here to collect you, my hard earned reward. That's what I have this bag for.
Oh, wow.
Plot twist. Oh, if you hung around enough, whoever here, yeah, you made it, baby, to the plot twist. Teresa stepped towards the kitchen, hugging the wall. She needed it for support. Is this true? She asked Poppy. Am I unalived? Poppy was pale and exhausted. She grounded out her cigarette in the ashtray. Almost, she said, and the regret in her voice was plain. Teresa nodded. There was no sense denying it now. She did not need to step into the bathroom to see. There was a girl unaliving in there. How long? She asked. Not long, Poppy said. Teresa nodded again. No wonder her wrist was hurting. She remembered then, quite clearly, opening the vein. Her nausea must mean her heart was running out of blood to pump. Who are you two? She asked. Who y'all think she is? Put it in the comments. Put it in the comments. Make sure you like, share, subscribe too. Scott, who do you think they are? Who do you think Poppy is? And Free.
Like a couple Grim Reaper.
Okay. My name is Candy, Poppy said. Poppycorn and Candy, you could call me. That's John behind you. You're both unalive, Teresa asked. Yes, Poppy said. Teresa coughed. Why are you here? For fun and profit, Free said, girl. And he got him a little nookie too. He was here to tempt you, Poppy said. At least that's what he thinks. I was here to help you. If you wanted my help. Poppy shook her head. You didn't want it, Teresa. Teresa nodded. How could you have helped me after what I did? Bardos is the realm between the living and the unalived, Poppy said. On rare occasions, it's possible to make choices here that affect where you go, whether you go anywhere. I made the wrong choices, Teresa whispered. You cut the poor nurse's throat, Free. I mean, girl, this man been getting you in trouble all night long.
Yeah, that's a wrong choice.
Yes, pretty not okay, but she made that choice. Shut up, Poppy told him. She turned back to Teresa. it wasn't so much what you did. It never is. It's what's inside. You wouldn't let the truth in. You lied about everything, Free interrupted, now airing out the body bag, flapping it in the middle of the living room as if he was getting ready to set up a tent. You never slept with Bill. He didn't want you. He wanted Renee and you couldn't face it. It's as simple as that. He is having a good time, honey. And see, let me tell you something about this one. Now that I know that it's him, John, I would have been like, shut up, druggie. I would have told him to shut up. I'm talking to her. I don't even know why you talking. Shut up. Even as I'm about to go to the underworld, baby, I'm sassy. He oh wait. Poppy slowly stood. She faced Free, who paused in his play with the bag to see what she'd do next. There was sudden fire in Poppy's usually cool expression. She held out her arm, and pointed at him. Okay, pretend like y'all Freedom Jack or whatever, John, whatever the hell his name is. Okay. Okay, here we go. Let me see what my girl got to say. You have some nerve calling Teresa a liar, she said. After all the lies you told tonight, you hypocrite. Free appeared genuinely perplexed. What lies did I tell? Poppy was impatient. About John. Free dropped his bag, suddenly angry. I told it the way it was. I accepted what I did, the good and the bad. I didn't try to dress it up like Mother Teresa here or like you, Poppy. Candy was nothing but a lazy chick with the loyalty of a politician. Okay.
Right.
Okay, he going in, honey. He Greg on Mommy Dearest. Remember, he was like, "Duh, duh, duh," and just started shaking her. Yeah. Get her, Jack. You prattled on about how she searched for John all those years. If she looked so hard, how come she didn't find him? Where was she supposed to look? Poppy demanded. She had no leads. John made sure he left none for her. Girl, John was in the trap house. I was like, sir, you a whole heroin addict. Where do you find them at? Anyway, it was John who ran from her, not the other way around. And why? Because he was embarrassed for screwing up. He didn't screw up. He was just trying to help her pass her stupid test. John didn't have to hit the teacher, Poppy said. Even when he did, even when he went to juvenile hall, it wasn't the end of the world. John could have called Candy at Berkeley when he got out. Get him, girl. They could have worked something out together. They were strong together. She getting them. She jabbing them. She like, I didn't set up in that car and I had to smoke cigarettes and almost get, I guess, lung cancer, but they already unalive, so it don't matter. I almost got lung cancer sitting there just trying to calm my nerves, listening to you lie. That's a puff. Okay, wait. I lost my stuff. Oh, John was the only strong one. John was weak where it mattered, Poppy yelled. When he hurt his hand, what did he do? He felt sorry for himself, so he was in pain. Lots of people are in pain. They don't become junkies. That's right, girl. Get them. Get them, girl. Get them. Get them, popcorn girl. She ain't smoking no cigarettes now. She ain't trying to calm them nerves. She just coming at you. They don't blame the world. Free was indignant. You don't know what pain is. She had a baby, sir. She had a whole human being came out of her, sir. She does know what pain is. Trust me. You don't know what pain is. You can't walk through life. I suffered, Poppy said. Everyone suffers at one time or another. But I worked to make myself alive. I made mistakes, sure, plenty of them, but I didn't hurt anybody. I didn't hurt anybody either. Free cried, sir. You were robbing, sir. Sir, so you didn't rob and shoot somebody in your story, sir? Poppy clapped her hands together. It was as if she had been staring him in a direction and he had just taken a critical turn. Yes, that's true. That's the truth you don't know. Listen to me. I came here tonight for you as much as for Teresa. You don't belong in this awful place, John. You belong with me. Free snickered. I can't go with you after what I've done. What did you do? Poppy asked. Free chuckled. In case you've forgotten, I unalived you. No, Teresa interrupted. Free glanced at her. You stay out of this. No, Poppy said quickly, eyeing Teresa closely. Let her talk. Think of her as an objective observer. Teresa? Teresa pulled herself off the wall with what strength she had left. I enjoyed the story of Candy's life, she said. She sounded like a nice person, but it was John's story that kept me captivated. I think it was because he had so much potential and kept missing out on opportunities. Until the end, I thought he would turn it around. He would get his act together and find Candy and live happily ever after. I know you told me at the start that they weren't going to be together, but I still kept thinking they would. Do you know what I mean? No, Free said. You know nothing. You never even met John. Sir, she has sex with John. You John, fool. What you talking about? But I did, Teresa said. I met him through you, right? I got to know him pretty good. He had a hard time. I went through nothing compared to him. I admired him in a way. I really did. But you see, when you got to the part in the store, I knew you were lying. I spoke to Poppy about it. You can ask her. I know that John didn't unalive Candy. I did, he protested. I shot her in the heart. He looked at Poppy. You tell her. Poppy shook her head. She just told you, John. He was confused. But I was there. I know what happened. No, Poppy said. I was there. I was in that store with the only man I had ever truly loved. You were there with your self pity and your guilt. You carried your guilt to the grave. You didn't shoot me. The cop shot me trying to hit you. He unalived me accidentally. It's true, but he unalived me nevertheless. When I got hit, you did everything you could to hold me up and keep me from falling into the dirty floor. Not because you were still using me as a shield, but because you wanted to hold me. You wanted that more than a chance to shoot back, which you could have done. You wanted it more than a chance to surrender and to live. You just wanted to hold me. You died wanting that. Poppy took a step towards him. Why do you have to play the devil every night for the rest of eternity? You're not such a bad guy. I still love you. Do you still love me? Free stared at her as if seeing her for the first time, or perhaps as if he was seeing her for a very long time. Teresa didn't know when they had been alive. What did you want to tell me just before you unalived? He asked. That I named my son after you, Poppy said. You weren't making that up when we were in the car, Free asked. I told the whole truth and nothing but the truth. Free was silent again. Then he took a deep, shuddering breath. Yes, he said. Yes, Poppy asked. I still love you, Free said. Tough, cool, emotionless Poppy wept. She nodded her head and bit her lip. Yes, she said. It could have been the most wonderful sound in the world, in the whole universe to her. She threw her arms open. Hold me now, John. Hold me forever. Period. They embraced. They kissed. Girl, he cheated on you. He cheated on you with Teresa. When they was in the hotel visiting his mama. So I don't know if you want to embrace him, girl. I don't think he took a shower. Just letting you know, sis. Anyway. They embraced, they kissed. It was wonderful, Beautiful. Teresa even shed a tear. She was so happy for them. Happy. Such a feeling for a unaliving soul to have. Nothing of this changed the fact that she had slit open her wrist. Yeah, girl, you kind of still in the bathtub. No ruby slippers. No going home to a unalive body. Teresa felt happy for them, but miserable for herself. You're not unalive yet, Poppy said, looking over at her from Free's arms, reading her mind. But you said, Teresa began. Poppy separated herself from Free. She positively glowed as a guardian angel should. Teresa had not recognized angels could be so human. What did I say? Poppy asked. What did the priest say? Did you let him finish? Of course not. You just ran out the door. You ran from your mistakes. But had you stayed, you would have heard that all mistakes are forgiven if you deliver them to the divine. It's a very deep secret, this one. But I don't know how to offer anything, Teresa said. There is no how, Poppy said. The truth itself is the true offering. That would be accepted. What is the truth here? You tried to unalive yourself. You can see that now. You did it out of self-pity. You learned about self-pity from John's story. You demonstrated that right now. Forget about the people you unalived tonight. They were already unalive. Forget what happened at the witch's house. I don't care. Okay, girl, because I was about to say, girl, now she just slept with your man, girl. But okay, you didn't forgive, so cool. You and Free behave like children. But all that matters is that you learn from one another. She poked Free in the side as she spoke. And to think, he came here tonight to drag you down to the lower regions. Free smiled. They're not so bad once you learn the ropes there. Poppy gave him a look. Do you want to go back there? He scratched his head. No. He hugged her close. I think I'm ready for a change for the better. He paused. Are you sure I didn't unalive you? Poppy laughed. How had you tried to shoot me, you would have missed. You were always missing me. She turned back to Teresa. What am I going to do with you, silly girl? Teresa fought a wave of dizziness. You're not physical. You can't drag me from the tub. I'll be unalive by the time my parents get home. She lowered her head. It doesn't matter what kind of offering I make to God. Why don't you make it and see what happens? Poppy asked. But she began. Go ahead, try it, Free said. What can it hurt? If it works for you, I might try it myself. What do I do? Teresa asked. Feel what you feel, Poppy said. Then let it go to the divine. It doesn't matter how you think of God. It only matters that you let him think of you. Can I close my eyes? She asked. Yes, Poppy said. Just don't unalive on us, Free said. Sir, weren't you trying to take her? Sir, there is a body bag sitting right there on the floor. Teresa closed her eyes. She saw many things in the space above. How good her life had been, the gifts she had been given, what with her voice and her writing, and yes, even her parents. She saw how devastated they could be to return home to find her unalive. They had sacrificed a good deal to have and raise a daughter. Bill was there inside her heart as well, where she had left him when she had fallen in love with him. It was possible that she had to let him go, maybe even never see him again, but that was okay. He had enriched her life. He had not come to destroy her life. He was in love, and love was always good. He too would be devastated to learn she had unalived herself. That's what you did it for, so you could hurt them the way they hurt you. And Renee, that mischievous little devil. Well, girls will be boys. Or that's not what it is. Sorry, y'all. Okay, wait. Well, girls will be girls just as boys will be boys. I'm sorry. I just like skipped over a bunch of words.
Yeah,
Sorry.
we just combine those.
I just said let's shorten it because Teresa doing a lot. Like, girl, you didn't had a hell of a night, honey, and so did I. So did we. Teresa found that she didn't hate her. She couldn't hate anyone, not even herself. Life was wonderful. It was terrible. It was both things together, and that is what made it so special. She was only sorry that she had thrown her life away. Teresa felt a great weight lift. It caught her by surprise. It was just gone, the dread. Such a blessed relief. Poppy and Free caught her as she fell. They carried her to the couch where they laid her on her back. Teresa opened her eyes. I'm going to unalive, she whispered. Are you afraid? Poppy asked. No, she said honestly. I'm just sad that I was so stupid. I was having a really good time, really. After a few days, weeks, I would have felt better. I let my emotions carry me away. She coughed weakly. I just wish I would let them carry me back. Poppy stroked the side of her face. Do you want to go back? Yes, Teresa said. More than anything, I want to live again. Poppy turned to Free. What do you say? Don't you think between one novice angel and one experienced devil, we can bring back a spark into Teresa Chafee's life? Free was serious for a moment, staring down at Teresa. I think it's possible. Anything's possible. Poppy smiled a radiant smile. She leaned over and kissed Teresa on the forehead. Close your eyes and you will see the spark. I will live? Teresa asked. Yes, Poppy said. But how? Shh. You will see, Poppy said. But why are you helping me? I mean, why you in particular? Why did God send me? Poppy asked, amused. Let's just say you're someone important to someone very important to me. Right now, you have no idea how much you'll be seeing him. But Teresa began. Sleep. Poppy reached down and gently closed Teresa's eyes. Dream of living. The dream goes on and on. There was space. There was time. They existed as they always existed. Yet it seemed as if she could go anywhere in either of them. For she had changed. She didn't seem to have a body, yet she felt someone nearby. This person, this being, was thinking of Bill, and she thought of him as well. Then suddenly she was in Bill's family room as she slept in front of the fire with Renee beside him. Oh, girl, you get to see your boyfriend with your friend. But this time, I guess you can't get mad. So Teresa could see they were both fully dressed. She was happy to see them and felt none of the crushing pain she had felt earlier in the night. Yet at the same time, she felt strangely distant, disconnected from the scene. Something was about to happen, and it was important, but she wasn't at all worried about how it would turn out. Most of all, she experienced great peace. The being she had noticed by her side a moment ago was still there, even though she could see no one besides Bill and Renee. Her attention was drawn to the fireplace. The logs had long ago given up their fuel to the flames, and all that was left were a few glowing embers. But a strange alchemy was taking place in those ashes. As she watched, a miniature slide cone spun in the midst of the burnt remains, and the embers grow brighter at the gust of wind. The orange light changed to a bright red, and the ash chased up the chimney as if called by an old man in a sleigh. Okay, it's Santa Claus. Hey. Then a loud crack as one of the few remaining pieces of wood exploded. A spark flew out of the fireplace through a split in the grill and landed on Bill's arm. He bolted upright from his deep slumber and looked around him anxiously. He peered directly at the front of which Teresa was observing him and rubbed his eyes. If he saw her, he didn't indicate that he had. She certainly didn't see herself. Girl, look at one of them cursed mirrors in the last book we read. You'll see yourself. He brushed painfully at a spot where the spark had landed on his arm. Then he suddenly stopped and looked in the direction of the front door. A breeze stirred his hair. It came in from the outside. He stood and walked towards the door. Teresa followed him effortlessly. The door was lying wide open. There was a key stuck in a lock. It was Teresa's key. Bill had given her one for no good reason. Yeah, why are you giving her the key, sir? Why are you messing with her best friend? Anyway, he had painted it gold as a joke. I painted myself gold too. Telling her it was the key to heaven. She must have left it in a lock when she came over to see him earlier in the night with her best friend. He pulled the key from the lock. He glanced out the door at the street back in the direction of the sleeping Renee. Comprehension crossed his face and horror. He ran into his bedroom and grabbed his shoes and his car keys. He didn't shut the door as he ran out of the house. Teresa wasn't sure where he was going, but she had a good idea. She wasn't wholly indifferent to the proceedings. She hoped he made it in time. She hoped they both did. It's the epilogue. Yeah, we're almost done. It makes me sad to finish this story, but it's such a beautiful story. Sunlight poured in through an open window. She saw it even before she opened her eyes. Someone was calling her name. She rolled over in bed and looked at who it might be. The handsome face of a young man with dark hair came into her focus. It was funny how her vision was blurred like that, she thought. The guy was sitting in the chair beside her. What's he doing in my bedroom? That was just the thing. It wasn't her bedroom. She instantly recognized the anesthetic decor. A hospital. She was a patient in a hospital. She must have driven into a tree or something. Hi, the guy said. Are you a doctor? She asked. He was dressed in white, but seemed kind of young. No, your doctor wanted me to sit with you. He thought you'd be coming around soon. How are you feeling? I have a bummer of a headache and my wrist. She saw the bandage on her left arm, or her left wrist, sorry. It all came to her in a flash, all the earthly parts. God, she whispered. The young man stood up quickly. I'll go get your doctor. No, that's all right, Teresa said, surprised at the calm in her voice. It wasn't every day you tried to unalive yourself. It was certainly a first for her. Yet she wasn't overwhelmed by the intensity of what she had tried. She just felt slightly embarrassed and silly. She swallowed painfully. Her throat was dry. Could you please get me a drink of water? She asked. Sure. The guy was happy to do something for her. She seemed to make him uneasy. Another nutcase, he probably thought. She would have to reassure him that she was not your normal attempted unaliving of self. He handed her the glass and she drank gratefully. Who brought me in? She asked. I think it was your boyfriend, Bill. She nodded. For some reason, the news did not surprise her. He used to be my boyfriend. He's going with my best friend now. Child, I would have skipped that part of the details. Okay. The guy lowered his head. I'm sorry. Now, girl, you was talking about how awkward it was. Like, that really made it awkward. I was like, girl. Girl, you know what? Let me go get your doctor. I know you don't want him, but let me go get him. Oh, it's a drag. I know. It really pissed me off when I found out. I wanted to cut them up into little pieces. Oh, you're going to get really very honest here. Okay, girl. I wanted to cut them up into little pieces, but they're probably better off together. Do you know what I mean? No. Girl, let me go get the psychiatrist and your doctor. Need the team. She was confusing the guy. She must sound way too philosophical considering what she had just done to herself. Yeah, he said. Bill and a girl are waiting outside to see you. Your parents are also here. Should I tell them you're awake? In a minute. If you're not the doctor, what are you? I'm a college student, but I plan to be a doctor. He gestured to their surroundings. This is a work study for me. She smiled. He was pretty cute. I hope it wasn't too much work for you.
Still horny.
She look. She said, I didn't even get none. That me with Freedom Jack. That wasn't real. So that one don't count, honey. Okay. Said I'm trying to get me a man, girl. I came back from the underworld. Yes. You were no work at all. You slept the whole time I was here. I tried to unalive myself, she said suddenly. His dark eyes were sympathetic. I know. You must have been going through a lot lately. She shrugged. It's been rough, but it gets that way sometimes. She added, I'm never going to try it again. I just want you to know that, girl, he don't know you. He don't give, like, he cares, but not like that, ma'am. Okay? He's just on work study. Huh?
He wants him to care.
Oh, well.
He wants to make him a man.
Okay, girl.
Young, handsome, successful, can be a doctor.
Got to be a doctor, girl. Yes, girl. Things are looking up.
Yeah.
Gotta take it where you can, girl.
How else you can be a doctor except for in the hospital?
Period. We gotta turn them lemons into lemonade, girl. You tried to unalive yourself, but now you about to catch a doctor, girl. Yes, things are looking up. The guy smiled with relief. That's what I wanted to hear. He stood. I'll go get your parents. Fine. He was at the door before she spoke next. Wait. He stopped. Yes. Why do you want to be a doctor? She asked. Why do you ask? Come on, tell me, Teresa said. Well, I want to help people, and doctors make a lot of money, and I like to wear white. He shrugged. My mom wanted me to be a doctor. You don't look like a mommy's boy to me. I'm not, he added. She unalived when I was very young. Teresa felt a pinch. I'm sorry. Yeah, she was a great mom. He opened the door. I'll be back in a few minutes, Teresa. Wait, she called. He stopped. Yes. You know my name, but I don't know yours. That's not fair. You're right. My name is Wait, she interrupted. Girl, he ain't gonna want you because you too much. Okay. You already here for some, questionable reasons. And now you. He laughed at her. What is it this time? You're Johnny. He frowned. How did you know? I'm not wearing a name tag. Teresa was also puzzled. I don't know. I must have met you somewhere before. You look familiar. She glanced at the open window at her left, glad that the sun was out and the storm was finally over. She smiled suddenly. You look like someone I know, she said.
Wow.
That is the end of this book. Okay. You guys, it's been a long journey. It's been a couple of chapters, like 15 or so. What did you guys learn from this book? Put it in the comment section. Scott, what did you learn?
Well, I had something, but I'm questioning now.
Okay.
Well, because let's say, if you find yourself on the road to nowhere, find the road to someplace else.
Mm-hmm.
But then, in the end, maybe she got a man.
She found where she needed to be. Okay, so I'm gonna give a little, this is like my philosophy and then what I learned. So my philosophy and the reason why I do these books is because I believe books are they're like ancient ways we used to do simulations. You know how like you could put on goggles and like simulate different things to learn them, or you go to like a baseball simulator where you practice your swing. This is a practice for our imagination and therefore our life, If you kind of think about the situation before you go through the situation, when you do have a situation, because you will, you kind of know how to do it, or you kind of practice for it. So we learned how to kind of accept the truth in this book. It's kind of about accepting the truth, and the road to nowhere is not accepting the truth. So what I learned is this: sometimes when you are running from the truth and yourself, because that's all she was running from herself, honey. When you're running from the truth and yourself, you sometimes will hurt people in the process because they're trying to tell you the truth. Because remember, Poppycorn the whole time kept trying to tell her the truth, and she was nice to her. And Teresa kept snapping at her and going with Freedom Jack because he was in denial. So if you're going through something, sometimes stop and listen to what people say and consider it. Just take it with a grain of salt. Because I think if she would have considered what Poppycorn was trying to tell her, she would have came out of this quicker, easier. It wouldn't have took so long of a process. Instead, she was leaning on somebody else who carried the same wound she did, just in denial, self-pity, you know. So listen to those who are trying to help you. Don't pay attention to pay attention to who want to be with you, because sometimes they want to be with you so they can continue, so y'all can distract each other from yourself and the truth, if that makes any sense. What you got?
I don't have anything to add to that.
Okay, this was a long one, guys, but Scott convinced me to do both these chapters. He was eager, honey, for the rest of the book. Okay, coming up next is my favorite. It's the Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy. I love this book. So this is gonna be the next thing I read. Besides our regular Sunday Funday School, all that good stuff. So we'll probably start this tomorrow. I love this book. This book is me. This is who I am. And as you can see, I got the 5-book deal. So yes, I'm excited for it. So anyway, thank you guys for coming. I hope you guys enjoyed. I hope it kept you entertained. I hope you learned something. I hope it stimulated your imaginations in the best way possible. We totally do love having you guys here. Make sure you like, share, subscribe, comment, all that good stuff. Let us know what you think. And with that, we're going to bid you guys adieu. So from wherever we are to wherever you are, even if we out in the galaxy, baby, peace, love, happiness. Skinnamarink dinky dink. We'll see you guys tomorrow. Bye, y'all. Are you going to tell them bye?
Yeah, bye.
Scott can't get right. He freedom.